Lamar, how good was Kobe, particularly down the stretch?
In 2007, Greg Popovich did the unthinkable. He moved Manu Ginobili, a starter from his own 2005 championship team, to the bench. They would go on to sweep LeBron James in the finals. In 2009, after 9 years as a starting point guard, Jason the Jet Terry was also demoted to the bench. 2 years later, he would hit a dagger 3 in LeBron's grill to put Dallas one game away from a title they would win. What do the greatest sixth men of all time have in common? No, it's not having a tasty moment versus LeBron. Every sixth man has an abundance of irrational confidence. So much confidence that if you put them in a second unit, they'll always have the potential to become the best player on the court. They'll give your coach a needed angle and your starters a needed rest. They'll hit those shots and make those plays that can turn a game. And they will always have your back. Six men are also typically the most interesting of players. They can be anything from lengthy and versatile to left-handed and shifty. They can literally be the difference between winning a championship and painfully accepting second place. And the craziest thing is, the Lakers had all of this in Lamar Odom. It's hard to imagine a story without conflict. I mean, you can really only appreciate the sunshine with some clouds. As defending champions in 2009, the Lakers had plenty of sunshine. But what made that team great is how they dealt with their clouds, how they kept getting better, blocking the outside noise and enjoying the internal process of improvement together. They relied on chemistry and camaraderie, and for that, there is no person better to thank than LO.
I think Lamar Odom did a lot, especially that second championship. It was going to his contract year. I think he was at an 18-11 clip or something like that. And he played four positions for us.
Like Lamar Odom was a sixth man, which is crazy. They could have started for 95% of the teams in the NBA at the time.
Lamar didn't start games, but he always ended them. He wasn't their best defender, but he was their only defender who can guard anyone. And he, like Kobe and the Lakers, enjoyed so much sunshine and faced so many clouds. It was some of the brightest sunshine you could imagine. Lamar literally could see it from the top of the world. He was a first-time champion, first-time husband, and he was entering a sixth season playing alongside Kobe Bryant. What made their relationship so special was how much they understood each other. Kobe had the spotlight, but he certainly enjoyed every second of it with Lamar. The two made their own Michael Jordan-Scottie Pippen dynamic. Lamar enabled Kobe to play his game by doing all the little things, pushing the tempo in transition, grinding for rebounds, and guarding all positions. He was seen as the guy who was busy keeping up with the Kardashians, but in reality, he was the glue guy that made it work on and off the court. Today, Kobe is hailed as the pinnacle of all work, while many write off Lamar as the product of all play. But the Lakers' 2009 and 2010 title teams are proof that every player in the NBA has to play under the same sky and face the same kinds of challenges and distractions. The Black Mamba was just superhuman about his challenges and distractions. It was also what truly made him a team player, not passing, but rather demanding the greatest out of his teammates. Lamar shared that commitment with Kobe. In hindsight, we now know the roller coaster Lamar took since his last title run with the Black Mamba. It's easy now to forget how he rose to Kobe's impossible standard. But Kobe was just always happy to see his brother alive and well. And the same goes for Lamar, who was beyond devastated when we lost Kobe.
I'm gonna miss him dearly.
You can hear it in their voices. They were that close, that happy to see each other, that sad when losing each other. In 2011, LO went on to win 6th Man of the Year before getting traded after dreams of the three-peat ended in Dallas and the Phil Jackson era came to an end. Kobe was beyond angry. I don't get it. I don't understand it. He had his best season last season. It clearly wasn't a distraction. He played his ass off. I don't get where that comes from. Now I'm getting pissed off.
Kobe, do you think the Lakers got too little in return for Lamar Odom?
I think we got too little for the return. What did we get?
Much like life, sports can be fickle, beautiful, and painful, all at the same time. The tribulations these teammates faced in the decade after 2010 make it imperative to appreciate what they had that season. Defending the title was just the surface. Going to battle with your brother and winning that war, that was the real dream. If you ask any basketball fan what the biggest battle for those Lakers were, they'd say the Celtics. But if you ask any Lakers fan the same question, they'd say the Suns. Kobe hated those Suns. In their quest to win without Shaq, the Lakers would blow a 3-1 lead versus the Suns in 2006. The following season, Phoenix would dismantle them in 5. But in 2010, Kobe finally got his revenge against those pesky Phoenix Suns. The Suns were unorthodox. They played ahead of their time under Mike D'Antoni, someone who transformed an undersized Steve Nash into an offensive juggernaut and gave Amari Stoudemire the best years of his life. They were extraordinary. So to beat the Suns, you needed to bring something that no one else was bringing. Something other than the ordinary. And my God, Lamar Odom was anything but ordinary. Kobe loved physicality. He preached hustle. And Lamar brought all of it. It was the best performance of his career. The passes, the offensive rebounds, the tough finishes. If dealing with Kobe Bryant wasn't enough, Lamar demoralized those Phoenix Suns. He came off the bench but played twice as many minutes as starting center Andrew Bynum. He was the only Laker who averaged double-digit rebounds. And just like that, the Lakers were going to the NBA Finals again. And the best part? They were getting their chance for revenge. Boston was waiting on the other side. Lamar joined Kobe the moment Shaq left. He knew what winning without Shaq meant for Kobe. And before anyone else, he knew the 2009 title wasn't enough. Beating one rival in the conference finals for the opportunity to redeem himself against another rival. That's what made Kobe's last title run in 2010 his most poetic championship, and he wouldn't have done it without Lamar Odom. Over the span of 3 decades, Phil Jackson was entrusted with leading some of the greatest players ever to championships. Phil Jackson was just as important to Kobe's success as any of his teammates.